How you doing, YouTube? My name's Reed, also known as Rio Skates, and first of all, welcome to my channel. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe for all skate content coming your way. So today we're going to be doing a tutorial on the front close lion, which is one of the introductory tricks published by Wizard Skating. And today we're going to run through 3 stages of that: the entry, the transition, and also the exit. Okay, now like always, if you're new to skating, please do wear protection. That's a helmet, wrist guards, elbow pads, knee pads, okay? Because if you're new on wheels and trying it out for the first time, it can feel a little bit strange, okay? So please do make sure that you are well protected before trying any of these moves as we go ahead, okay? Now also, I've been skating for about a year now, and if I'm honest with you, yeah, it's been a long process. A lot of training, a lot of drilling, but at the end of the day, I do it because I love it, and you should always love what you're doing, okay? So, without further ado, let's get going. So first things first, what you need to do this is either a used pair of wheels or a rocket frame. Now without a rocket frame, it's going to be very difficult to kind of shift your weight onto different wheels or different parts of the foot to kind of execute this move, okay? So it's very important that you've got either used wheels or a rocket frame, okay? Now, you've probably seen in other videos, people talk about a 3 move, okay? That's simply this, which I'll show. Image of 3 move. Anyway, and then it's all about knowing when to shift your weight and what to do with your trailing leg. Now, if I'm honest with you, the trailing leg is probably the most important part of this move once you've got an understanding of the equipment you're using. So once you've got an understanding of the equipment you're using and where you should be distributing your weight, then it's all about what you're doing with your upper body and the trailing leg, or the swing leg, as some people call it. Okay, so I'm going to get into a few demonstrations for you. I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to try to explain each part of this move in 3 stages. If you have a look at the ground here, so 3 was there, okay? Now I like to call this bit here crux, or the tip of that 3-point. Now this here is that transitional point. So phase 1 will be here, okay, on the outside edge, okay, weight in the heel. Once you get to the 3-point, your swing leg will come across your body, okay, then naturally shifting the weight onto the inside edge, okay, and that's where your weight will then go onto the front of the foot and then trail out on the exit phase, okay? So, okay, so stage 1, the entry, okay? Now, think about what direction you want to learn this move in, whether it's to the left or it's to the right, okay? So if I'm gonna go to the left, my push and swing foot or swing leg is going to be the right, okay? So it's always the opposite in terms of what direction you're going to be going, okay? So for example, if I want to turn left, I'm going to push off the right, and if I'm going to the right, I'm going to push off the left, okay? Now if you haven't already seen Wizard Skating moves, please look at them. They are like the Bible for Wizard Skating. Check them out firstly, and then start to put them into practice. So, stage 1, the entry. You're going to push off the right foot and do the tree. It's called a tree, okay, for a reason, because your body's out wide like a tree. Okay, so you push, swing leg up. The weight is actually in the rear of my skates, but this is what it feels like. It feels like my weight is here, coming through here. So that means the contact point are these 2 wheels here, okay? So the 3rd and 4th wheel, okay? So as I push off, my weight is on the 3rd and 4th wheel. The push leg, okay? You want to use this right foot here to project or propel you forward to the left, okay? So, once again, push leg into the tree position. If you can do a full circle with that move, you've got it. You're ready for the next stage, okay? So try and do a full circle. Or near a full circle, okay? But keeping your body in control. The second and probably the most hardest point is the transition, okay? And it's to understand that this leg, once it crosses that midpoint, you can now shift your weight onto that inside edge. It's so important that you do that as well, but you should also watch the upper body as I do it. My upper body twists as well as I do it. So we're talking about the upper body. My upper body will move first, and my swing leg would almost be in line with my shoulder or this arm as I do it. Okay? So I'll push off, just like that, okay? This, you could use this arm essentially for direction or guidance for that swing leg. But always remember that as you cross that midpoint or the crux of that free turn, you then have to shift your weight onto the inside edge and put your weight more towards your toes. You'll get a feel for it once you keep practicing. So let me do that one more time. So once again, watch the upper body and watch how I transition through the three turns. There we go. Now, what's so funny is I see people trying to learn this when they first start to begin to wizard skate, and a lot of the time they lift their feet or their wheels off the ground. Throughout this move, you should not be lifting any wheels off the ground. So you shouldn't get to the 3-point and lift like that. That's a no-go because you're doing the move incorrectly. All right, what should happen is a nice gradual transition from that to that, okay? Where the weight then is on the toes, because essentially you're going backwards. That's the basics. So when you're going forwards, the weight is on the heel. When you're going backwards, like this, your weight is towards the toe. And essentially your shin should be in touch with the liner, essentially pushing against that liner, okay, for stability. As I get around to this point here, or let me just stand still, it might be easier. As I get to the point where my swing leg is coming around to the center of my body, I then have to shift my weight, okay? So remember, we push off, we're on the outside edge as we go in on the left skate. We now need to shift over onto the inside of the skate. Very technical, I know. Please forgive me, all right? So we need to shift our weight from the outside edge onto the inside edge when performing this move. But equally, we have to distribute our weight differently. So previously, I stated that the weight, the contact point with the ground are these two wheels. We're now going to shift that weight up to these two, or even these two if you've got the advanced frames like me, okay? So as I do that, let me do it again. So I push in my stage one, I tuck in that swing leg, and I get onto the inside edge. Now it's all about phase 3, okay? So, remember when I said that when you do the transition, you've then got to shift your weight onto the inside edge? This is probably the most important part of this move, okay? Because a lot of people, as they make that transition, they drop their swing leg, okay? Whether that's due to confidence, I don't know, okay? The idea is to try and maintain that level of stability throughout the whole of the 3 move, and by doing so, you'll be able to carry yourself outwards. So, we've gone through the 3 move, the transition, legs in the air, your weight now has to be on the inside edge and towards the front of your boot, okay? So that when you do the turn, you can swing outwards like that, okay? I cannot emphasize anymore how important it is to actually shift the weight. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do the move well. So remember, as you go in, weight is in the heel to the 3, and look, you can kind of see as I was doing that move, my shin is fully against the cuff of this boot, okay? Because that's where the weight needs to be as you shift from the transition phase to the exit of that move, okay? Okay, so what you will realize when it comes to wizard moves or the entry-level wizard moves, they all use the same concept of the 3 turn, okay? Whether you're doing the front clothesline or, let me show you, the front open line, I am still using the same concept. The same weight distribution, the same edge work, okay? Now it's all about putting it into practice and trialing it out, understanding your equipment and also understanding your own body and where it should be at given points of any of these moves that I will show you. So, strap your laces on, get out there and just pull it into practice, because that's the only way it's gonna happen, okay? You can achieve amazing things once you put your mind to it, and to top it off, you can be creative with it too, so go and have fun with it. And until then, I'm gonna keep skating. I'll see you out there.